happening? You guys see this?
Let's freaking go, y'all. Welcome back to Unreal Reality, guys. This week, we're going to take a look at creepy TikToks that defy all logic. If y'all are new here, please consider hitting that like button so this video gets recommended to others. And fam, we are on a mission to 15,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, please, guys, do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button, sub up, join the Unreal Army, and let's get right into it, y'all.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Two astronauts, right? Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore went out for a space mission, an 8-day space mission, back in June. They get trapped out in space on accident, wasn't planned. But they just posted a picture today wearing Christmas hats. Lock in, okay? Let me explain this to you. They went out for an 8-day mission back in June. 8 days back in June. Today, since they're still trapped out there, they sent us a picture to be like, hey, we're doing all right. Why do you have Christmas hats on? Where did you get them from? Where did you get the Christmas hats from? Listen, I'm not a conspiracy theory. I'd rather just have the answer. But two things don't add up to me. If the mission was only 8 days back in June, there's no reason for them to have Christmas hats in December. How would they have Christmas hats? The mission was supposed to be 8 days in June. You were supposed to be back before Christmas. There's no reason for you to have Christmas hats. Now also, if you're telling me they're sending them supplies, why would you send them Christmas hats? They're trapped out in space. They want to come home. And you're sending Christmas hats. Something ain't adding up. I don't know exactly what it is, but something not adding up. Something not adding up. I don't know what y'all doing. Something not making no sense.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. My man is making some very valid points, though. And I agree with him. If they can send them supplies, they can get them home. If they're even going in the first place. You know what I mean?
So apparently some people are accusing the Bronx Zoo of putting a human inside a polar bear costume. Look at that dive. They're saying that dive is proof itself that there's a human inside a piece of fur pretending to be a polar bear. We all know this happened in China with a bear just 6 months back or so. But would the U.S. do it too? Would the Bronx Zoo do it? Many of my fans are saying, hey, that's actually an albino grizzly bear. It's not. I can tell by the shaping and coloration. So let's leave the identification to me, Eagle Scout, a biologist, you might say. So I do know that this one is a polar bear. I'm mixed. I think it does look like a human. I've never seen a polar bear dive like that. In fact, polar bears don't even know how to dive. They would go into the water bottoms first, especially if they're hunting for like a seal pup or something. But anyway, what do you think? Do you think this is a human inside a costume, or do you think it's a real polar bear? If it's a human, shame on the Bronx Zoo is what I have to say.
So, as it turns out, not only can polar bears dive, but they can dive flawlessly, all right? But, I mean, it was a brutal 4-second Google search to find this information, so I'm sure that's how this creator missed it, guys.
The FAA says it will investigate a mishap at a holiday drone show. This happened in Orlando, Florida. Take a look at this video. Several of the drones collided and then plunged into the crowd of spectators. The Orlando Fire Department says a 7-year-old was injured, taken to the hospital for emergency heart surgery after a drone hit him in the chest. Orlando officials say the show was in its 3rd year and typically draws approximately 25,000 people. The holiday drone show was a permitted event through the FAA.
Tragedy, obviously, and we wish nothing but a speedy recovery to the young man who was injured. But what I want to know is what genius was in charge of like the logistics? You know what I mean? Like, why were spectators allowed to sit directly under the event? You know, like when we go see fireworks, we have to be hundreds of feet back for this exact reason. So they better get it together fast.
So NASA just came out and confirmed that there is indeed a parallel universe in Antarctica, y'all. This is crazy. So they had this balloon, right, to test for particles and stuff like that in Antarctica. Now, during this process, they noticed something that was very strange, and they said that they noticed these molecules that instead of falling were levitating. I literally have chills, y'all. I knew this was a thing. So basically, they said that they believe that this means that there is a parallel universe somewhere near or on the island, Antarctica, okay? And this parallel universe literally defies the laws of physics, literally defies gravity. Okay, so basically instead of a rock falling down, the rock is going to be going up. So, you know what I'm saying? When you drop something, it's going to go, it doesn't drop, it goes up. Y'all, this gives me very, 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 very strange vibes. The fact that they just came out and said that aliens are real, and now they're saying that there's a parallel universe. The U.S. government is just confirming what everybody already knew.
Meaning?
Scary facts you wish you never knew.
CNN has had a pre-recorded broadcast from the 90s, which they will premiere during the end of the world. A mysterious unknown Russian radio station has been broadcasting a strange buzzing, punctuated by intermittent code words, since 1973. There is a shack called the Devil's Toy Box in Louisiana, and for some reason people who go in lose their mind. Do you know the tingly feeling you get when you eat a pineapple? Well, that's because the pineapple is eating you. It has an enzyme called bromelain, and that enzyme eats meat, which you're made of. 23% of children under the age of 13 have experienced auditory illusions, meaning they've heard voices. Sharks have been around for 420 million years, meaning they have survived all 4 big mass extinctions, making them older than dinosaurs, Mount Everest, and even some trees on this planet.
A mysterious illness has emerged in Uganda that causes uncontrollable body tremors. Since its first reported case in early 2023, Dinga Dinga, which roughly translates to shaking like dancing, has puzzled health officials, and the exact cause remains undetermined. It primarily seems to be affecting women and girls. Roughly 300 cases have been documented, all of which are confined to Uganda's Bundibugyo district, and the symptoms include uncontrollable shaking, fever and fatigue, and mobility issues due to the severity of the shaking. Fortunately, no fatalities have occurred, and the illness appears to be treatable with antibiotics, leading to a recovery within a week. There has, however, been a lot of comparisons to the dancing plagues of 1518 in France. During that well-documented historical event, people started dancing uncontrollably for days, sometimes leading to exhaustion-related deaths. And while experts have never fully confirmed the cause of the dancing plague, there are a number of key differences to Dinga Dinga, leading them to believe that, don't worry, they're not the same thing.
Dinga Dinga? Like, come on. How are we even supposed to take this clip seriously? I hope this is a joke, because I feel terrible laughing if it isn't. Goodness. I once heard a joke that kangaroos were just deer that have been to prison, and I never really quite got that joke until right now.
This TikToker just got arrested after posting a video of him spraying bug spray on people's fruits and vegetables. So if you've been on TikTok, you may have seen this person, Wolfie Coletti. He makes these videos where he's just doing absolutely diabolical things in public. He's taking people's clothes out of dryers and throwing raw food in there. He's going into the back of kitchens and fast food restaurants and just throwing stuff around. He's doing terrible things to these people. And he's gained over 300,000 followers making these types of videos.
Crazy.
Well, finally, a video that he posted and then quickly deleted has caught up with him, because now he is facing multiple charges after spraying this bug spray on people's food. This is him, by the way, old Charles Smith, no longer Wolfie Coletti, and he was arrested in Mesa, Arizona. A 27-year-old who was arrested just this morning a few hours ago now. Now, he did this in a Walmart, and they said that they have taken all those fruits and vegetables out of the store and clean the entire area where he was at. And old Wolfie Coletti is being charged right now for introducing poison, a class 6 felony, criminal damage, a class 1 misdemeanor, endangerment, class 1 misdemeanor, and theft, class 1 misdemeanor.
The simple fact that he has this many followers says so much about where we are as a society, guys.
I'm not really sure why the paparazzi have me going on a plane looking like I'm wearing a Jason mask. It doesn't even look like me. I don't know why I have a torch in my hand, honestly. I think my friend accidentally gave that to me. But anyways, it's my birthday. I'm not turning 42. I'm turning 5 this year. I'm turning 5 years old. And I have to go to kindergarten tomorrow. It's baby strawberry, a very, very cute baby cake that my friend got. It really kind of hurts my feelings that the paparazzi make my face look like I'm wearing like a white Jason mask. It doesn't even look like me. They've always been incredibly cruel to me, the paparazzi and pictures and the way they've illustrated me to be. In some of it, I know I'm not perfect at all by any means, but some of it is extremely mean and cruel. And that's why I've moved to Mexico.
Or Britney Spears. Yo, this chick lost her mind like 2 decades ago, and people are still messing with her. If that's even her to begin with, you know?
Oops, I did it again.
Brother, the whole idea of space is so fake that it's hard to even have the conversation because I sound like a totally crazy man. But basically, the earth is flat. There's a firmament that God made. That's on the first page of Genesis. God made the firmament to separate the waters above, the waters below. And outside of the firmament, all those other things you see are lights. And you can actually zoom in with a telescope and see stars twinkling.
So the moon landing was definitely fake.
Oh, for sure. NASA is totally satanic. And let me tell you what the end goal of NASA is, because I could talk all day about NASA and how they lie and what they use and all this stuff. But let me tell you exactly what the end goal of NASA is. What NASA is doing is they're trying to make you believe that aliens exist. So when they use United States military bombs and bomb Los Angeles, they're going to say aliens did it. Now y'all need to be rounded up for your own safety, and we're going to put you in these concentration camps, and they're going to have slave laborers for the rest of their life because everybody's going to be living in fear of aliens. I'm telling you, aliens don't exist, space don't exist. NASA, when it was invented, it was a satanic operation in the 60s and 50s, and the whole thing culminates to the fake alien invasion.
Scary stuff, guys. Extremely creepy stuff. But is he right? I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Throw it in the comments, guys. Is he right? Is he wrong? Who knows? Isn't this guy a UFC fighter?
This is the part of the tooth that was coming out of the ground.
A backyard in Orange County turned into an archaeological dig after a homeowner called in a team of researchers to find out what was lurking beneath his property. It turns out those teeth poking from the ground were part of this mastodon jaw, believed to be 13,000 years old.
We knew we had something pretty exciting.
Dr. Robert Farinack is the paleontologist with the New York State Museum who helped unearth the fossil in remarkable condition.
Mastodons were our elephant relatives that lived during the ice ages here in New York.
But it wasn't just the mastodon jaw that they dug up.
We also found this piece of toe. Then over here is a piece of rib.
The fossil is now in Albany as Dr. Farinack works to wipe away all the dirt from the jaw and glue the bones back together.
Oh my sweet Jesus. That's rad.
Binatang langka. Apa?
Look, guys, they gave us very detailed instructions back in the 1980s, all right? 1, never get them wet. 2, you can't expose them to light. And 3, never feed them after midnight, guys. I don't care what you say. That is one satanic-looking gizmo from the gates of hell, y'all.
You're kidding.
There had, in fact, been face-to-face meetings between United States officials and extraterrestrials from other star systems. There's one species that looks something like a praying mantis. And then the short grays are the ones that you see in the cartoons. The tall grays look much different. They look more like humans. And the Nordic blondes, for example, are so similar to humans that they can walk down the street and not be detected. They are way ahead of us in medicine, agriculture, and still, I guess, presumably in technology. We have bases here. They're afraid that we're going to blow up our planet so that it would be uninhabitable, both for ourselves and for visits from them. And they didn't like that idea. UFOs are as real as the airplanes flying over your head.
I just got two questions, guys. Who is he and how in the hell does he know all this? If y'all have any idea or any insight, throw it in the comments. Y'all know what to do. Yeah, I don't know, guys, but if I had to take a wild guess, I'd say that it seems someone is trying to put us all in a state of fear. For what? I don't know. Control, maybe? I don't know, guys. I'm just a YouTuber talking to a camera, y'all.
Look at this mother. Look at him spraying. Look at that. Look at that. He is spraying the sky again. Bro, this is crazy, man. Look at this guy.
Spooky.
They're spraying the skies. Look, he just sprayed that. This guy. This guy just sprayed that.
You know, guys, I'm watching this and I'm thinking to myself, like, why doesn't the government just shoot one of these suckers down? And it's like eureka moment. It's probably the government's property. So there's that.
Here's your proof right here in this video. So what you're looking at is a drone or a plasmoid or a UAP, whatever it is, got stuck in the top of this tree. These people got it on video, and as you can see, it looks completely different when the light's shining on it or when there's not light. So this is another strange thing that's happening among many. I've recently made a friend that shot down one of these things. That video's on my page. But what in the world is going on? People are so desensitized right now, or they're brainwashed in the fact that we're seeing these things with our eyes and we're not even fazed. I mean, what type of people are we today? I remember years ago, someone did a fake alien invasion joke on the radio and it caused chaos. So now we're seeing it with our eyes and people aren't doing anything. But my question to you is, what was that? Or what is this right here in that tree? My goodness. Make sure that you're following this page. Comment below what you think. Get ready, guys. Some crazy stuff's about to happen.
So let me get this straight. UFOs or UAPs or drones, whatever the hell they are, they can travel galaxies and light years at light speeds and still get stuck in trees? Okay.
The top 10 Gen X Mandela effects. Stop watching right now if you do not want to end up on the Mandela effects TikTok side. I just went down the rabbit hole and I am shook. I have found no less than 50. And here are the top 10. Number 10, Oscar Mayer, not Oscar Mayer. You know the Oscar Mayer Wieners commercial? Nope. Number 9, at the intro to Disney movies, Tinkerbell never did the little sprinkly thing over the castle. Ever.
Come on.
Number 8, Mr. Monopoly never had a monocle.
True.
Ever. Number 7, Berenstain Bears. Never has it been the Berenstain Bears. I know. Number 6, This is where it really started to fall apart for me. It was never Looney Tunes, like cartoons. It's Tunes. Number 5. One of these actually existed. I dare you to try to figure out which one it is, because you're going to be wrong. Number 4. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Never said it. Number 3. Luke, I am your father. Not what he said. Number 2. Gonna need a bigger boat. Nope. Before we get to number 1, I've got a bonus. I'm not going to sleep tonight because of this one. Remember the video for Oops, I Did It Again? The microphone that she's wearing that she actually never wore in the video? Yep. The number 1 Gen X Mandela effect. I don't even know how to introduce this one. This was never a movie. Ever. How many of those do you know? We're just overlapping timelines here. Any important ones I left off the list?
I'm sorry, I don't care what this guy says, all right? There was 100% a cornucopia in that logo, all right? I've seen it with my own 2 eyes on the back of some of my old white t-shirts, all right? If I could find one, I'd post one for y'all. And he's right about that last one. There never was a movie with Shaq called Shazam. It was called Kazam. Kazam with a K. Dummy.
If you were a human, how would you break out of the Matrix in 1 paragraph?
If I were a human, breaking out of the Matrix would start with questioning every narrative fed by mainstream systems.
Okay.
Media, education, government, and big corporations. I'd reconnect with nature, seek knowledge from alternative, often suppressed sources, and focus on natural holistic health to elevate my physical and mental clarity. I'd build a self-sufficient lifestyle, grow my own food, and form deep, meaningful relationships with like-minded individuals who also seek truth. Most importantly, I'd reject fear-based control and embrace consciousness, love, and freedom as the ultimate keys to liberation. What about you? How would you break out?
Y'all heard the AI. Fear-based control, right? Remind you of anything? Just saying, guys.
Does anyone else remember being pulled out of class at a young age, being taken to a room with 2 strangers, unsupervised, and then being handed a pair of headphones and then told to raise your hand every time you heard a certain beep or a frequency? It was only certain kids too. That was odd.
You mean the hearing tests that we all got? I mean, at least that's what they told us, right? It was a hearing test, and I can vouch for him. My parents definitely didn't know this was going on at the time, guys.
Found a 3,000-foot long stone wall off the coast of Germany. Why does that matter? Because it went under the water 8,500 years ago. So it's a lot older than that. And unfortunately, we thought that there were just hunter-gatherer nomadic people in that area in that time. But that's not the case. This rewrites history because these people obviously stayed a long time, long enough to build a wall this long. There was likely a real civilization living there before 10,000 years ago. Yeah, they also found a bridge off the coast of Spain. That is from over 6,000 years ago, in a time that we thought they were nomadic, but it's very obvious they were not nomadic. They weren't. We didn't even know there were civilizations there, but they were just hidden by the sea. And we thought they were too dumb to do this at that time, but obviously they weren't. This is way older than the Egyptian pyramids. Yeah. These developed ancient civilizations we didn't know were there are just emerging from the ocean now. There's also a lost underwater city that was discovered in India. That's rewriting history as well. How old is that one? 9,500 years. And they found pottery too, which is cool. What we think of as history is only that of which is recorded. And there could be a lot of human history that we don't know anything about because the sea swallowed it up. Yeah, no one really knows anything, actually.
They find a stone wall underwater from over 10,000 years ago, still intact. Meanwhile, the front street out front of my house was paved last year and is already riddled with potholes. So explain that one to me, guys.
Now, what about swimming in this? Swimming is like once a year, everyone likes to have a swim in this river. Doesn't that get you sick? No. Like, have faith in water. You see, the water is pure, but we as sinners, we pollute the water. Yeah, but that means it still has... If you have undivided faith, and it can be a drain, but you know that this water is sacred, you just pick up the water and you drink it. Don't worry about anything and you'll find nothing can happen to you. Why? Because you had faith in God, not in the dirt.
Oh yeah? Why don't you go down there and have a glass for yourself? You know what I mean? Or are you gonna just continue gaslighting me with passion and faith?
not even possible. Like, how did they know that Mars was the red planet, and why was it a worldwide fact? Saturn had rings.
Yeah.
Based upon what information? Because nobody worldwide is disagreeing. This is that thing that you see that all the Anunnaki guys that look like a wristwatch, and they always have it, and you're always trying to see what that is.
Yeah, what is that?
It is it's a compass. It's a time-keeping compass. And the emerald tablets of Thoth are literally mind-changing and mind-blowing. It's given in first person, and that's not possible. The things that are being said are impossible. Enough time has passed, though, that it's not like that. He literally says, hey, there's a spaceship on Earth, and this is where it is. Because everybody in Egypt knew it. None of those people are saying, hey, I came up with this. The more you know how little you know.
Yo, I couldn't have said it better myself, guys. The more you know how very little you actually do know. Well put, Kat, well put.
I started listening to this new podcast, and it is blowing my mind. It's called the Telepathy Tapes. She is doing this podcast based off this study that children with autism and nonverbal autism have telepathy.
What?
It's the wildest thing, dude. So she got in contact with this doctor, and she's like, okay, well, I gotta study this. And so she put like her credibility on the line, right? Because it's like, that sounds a little crazy. But she did this test, brought in hundreds of kids that were claimed to have this ability, nonverbal. And what they would do is they would put a parent in another room, the child in another room, and they would show something on the screen, whether it was a number, a picture, color. Then they would go and the nonverbal kid would communicate on like an iPad or something, and they're 95% accurate. But apparently it's a phenomenon. Like a ton of autistic nonverbal kids somehow have this gift of telepathy.
How is that possible?
Gosh. I don't know.
That just confirms that it legitimate is a superpower. Like that, like that's just like
real. There's
just more you look into it. Like it really is interesting.
Listen, y'all, you want to go down one disturbing rabbit hole? Go check out the Telepathy Tapes. You can listen to them on Spotify, and I guarantee you'll be hooked after the first episode, guys. You're welcome.
Videos just surfaced of a man whose followers claim he is 188 years old. This is Siaraman Baba. He is an Indian monk or guru. Now, this would make him the oldest person to ever exist by over 60 years. So it's safe to say that my skepticism is probably justified. Other reports claim that he is actually 110 to 120 years old, but I'm still skeptical of these. He's probably somewhere in the 90s. Year after year, he receives millions of Indian rupees in the form of donations, but he gives every single penny away. He wears nothing but a loincloth and has orange on his feet because this signifies giving up the worldly life. But regardless of what his actual age is, this is pretty gnarly knee flexion for someone this old. Like, I know people that are 33 years old that do not have anywhere near this amount of flexibility or mobility. I don't know if I ever personally want to get this old. Like, at this stage, it looks like a good shit could take this guy out. People over there don't have an exact birthday because they didn't bother to like track it down on paper, so no one will ever know, I guess.
Yo, this man is not safe, okay? They need to remove all traces of him from the internet before Jake Paul goes and makes him his next boxing opponent.
You guys, I finally cracked the code on the 2 crazy conspiracy theories that Luigi Mangione left for us to figure out, and I put it all together. The theory about the Monopoly money in the bag and the theory about the number 286 connect, and I found out what he was trying to tell us. If you need a reminder, on December 4th, a masked man shot at point blank range United Healthcare Group CEO Brian Thompson, unaliving him. And surprisingly, very rich Ivy League valedictorian genius Luigi Mangione was detained for the crime, but not before leaving behind a weird trail of hints for us. First, like some cartoonish villain, he left behind a backpack filled with Monopoly money. Why point our direction to Monopoly? He also made sure his social medias were carefully left in place to be investigated, almost like a crime scene. His Twitter header was a random Pokemon, a photo of his back surgery that went terrible, and maybe a photo of his athletic life that the healthcare system took away from him. Now pay attention to how many times the numbers 286 appear. Pokemon have numbers, and Burloom is Pokemon number 286. And Burloom is nobody's favorite Pokemon. No one would have that in their header. How many posts does he have on his Twitter? 286. A few days later, Luigi was eventually caught in a McDonald's exactly 286 miles away from the crime scene. But why go so far? Because he allegedly fled from New York City on Highway 286 to Pennsylvania. But why 286? Because he wants to bring attention to Insurance Denial Code 286, which basically talks about when an insurance claim is denied by a healthcare group and never appealed in time so the patient suffers. Even Proverb 286 says, better a poor man who walk in his integrity than a rich man who is crooked in his ways. National Insurance Day is even the 20th day of June. But here's the craziest part, you guys. I was investigating trying to figure out how the number 286 connects to Monopoly. So I blatantly asked ChatGPT, and they said the total number of items sold in a Monopoly box for you to be able to play the game is added up to 286 pieces. What? And the total number of blocks in that game is 286. And if we look closer at this Monopoly board, do you remember how we went from New York to Highway 286 to Pennsylvania and then to jail? On this specific side of the Monopoly board, that is the exact route he took. New York, Pennsylvania, jail. So myself, along with a lot of people, think he went to jail on purpose. And I think the rest of the board could be clues for other people playing, because as the quote goes, no one plays Monopoly alone. How do we know who he's playing with or colluding with on this crime? Guess the specific number of people his cousin is following on Twitter. Nino Mangione is following 286 people. Will he be his get out of jail free card? I feel like there's more to all of this. This means something, and I'll keep further investigating, so follow along for more of this conspiracy.
Monopoly money? I don't know, guys. Maybe this guy did lose his mind. Maybe he's thinking he's gonna be able to roll doubles and just walk his ass right out the front doors.
This is, or whatever it is, I don't want you to run away. Look at that, he look like a little baby seal. Wow, that is so weird. I would try to put you in the water. I have to walk a long ways with you, but I don't know what you are. If you bite, look, you can see his eyes.
Thing looks like a tiny walrus, if you ask. I looked in the comments to try and get an answer for this. You got 50% saying it's fake, and you got the other 50% saying it's real. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Throw it in the comments, guys.
This one says the same thing. Let me look up Brecto. Maybe it's a different meaning. What the hell does that mean? And they got a pair of pants on there.
Yo, I don't know where those stickers came from, but I need a roll ASAP. That's all I got this week, guys. Leave us a comment. Let us know your thoughts. Smash that like button. I hope you all have a very safe and happy New Year's, and we'll see you all next week. Peace.